What's up, guys? It's Lord Botha here with another video, and Nintendo is, it's cutting its sales forecast for the Switch, which is, a huge surprise considering their new console is coming out this year. This comes to us from Reuters. Nintendo cuts Switch sales forecast ahead of successor device launch. Japan's Nintendo cuts its full-year sales Switch forecast by 12% to 11 million units as the aging console loses momentum ahead of the launch of a successor device this year. Nintendo remains dependent on its console business, even as it opened stores and its roster of characters feature in theme parks and film. Quote, "While we think sales of hardware and software are solid for the 8th year, we did not achieve our plan." That was Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa told at an earnings briefing. Nintendo sold 9.54 million Switch units in April-December period, bringing the lifetime sales to 156.86 million units. Keep in mind, they are forecasted for 11 million units even with that cut that they just made, and they are currently, the Switch that is currently, in third place for the most selling console of all time. Nintendo's own DS is in second at 154 million units, and the PlayStation 2 is at 160. So if they were actually to make this number that they gave out, the Switch would still become the most selling console of all time. Last month, Nintendo said it will release a successor to the hit home portable Switch console this year with a Nintendo Direct event to air on April 2nd. Yeah, and really, what did you expect to happen? I mean, this is probably why Nintendo has been working on the Switch for so long, but hasn't said anything about it and have just let these leaks go because they didn't want to announce the Switch 2. Because they knew as soon as they announced the Switch 2, as soon as we confirm it and we talk about it and we even give any kind of release window, our Nintendo Switch sales are going to take a hit. Why? Because, well, there's people like me out there. I don't own a Switch. And in the past year, I've thought about actually buying a Nintendo Switch. But now, why would I buy a Nintendo Switch when I know the Switch 2 is coming out later this year? And I guarantee I'm not the only person that thinks like this. Also, that April 2nd Nintendo Direct is going to be a pretty big event because as it stands currently, the Switch is slated to come out somewhere between June and September. That's a big gap. And if the Switch 2 releases closer to the fall, Nintendo can expect a very big problem to run into, and that's called GTA 6. Now I know you're like, well, what does GTA 6 have to do with the Nintendo Switch 2? Well, if everybody's playing GTA 6, which is supposed to come out sometime this fall, there's not a lot of people that are going to be picking up a Switch 2, at least to actually play on it. I guarantee you when it comes to where eyeballs are going to go to, the vast majority of gamers are going to pick GTA 6 over the Switch 2, especially when the Switch 2 is expected to cost like $400, and GTA 6, even if they want to absolutely gouge gamers, is going to be $100. And that's just going to take up gamers' attention and time so infinitely that even people who do buy a Switch might not even touch it, at least for a good long while. That's why I think it's smarter to release earlier rather than later to avoid that conflict with GTA. With all that said, Take-Two is supposed to have an earnings call tomorrow, February 6, 2025, and one of the things they're potentially going to discuss is the actual release date, more hard window for when GTA 6 is supposed to come out this year. And I think once they do that, we'll probably have a better understanding of what specific window Nintendo wants to shoot for with the release of their Switch 2. But back to the article, in the immediate, it's not great financial news for Nintendo, and they're definitely hoping to make up these losses when the Switch 2 drops, so finding the right window to actually drop the Switch 2 is going to be really important. Because the company lowered its operating profit forecast by 22.2% for the financial year ending in March. And in the April to December period, it fell 46.7%, so nearly 50%. That means when the new financial year starts, Nintendo is hoping to make a big splash quick. Either way, I'm sure Nintendo are going to be just fine and make plenty of money with the Switch 2, and how smart are they going to be at trying to make that money? But knowing Nintendo, they could pick the day before or the day after GTA 6 releases to drop the Nintendo Switch. They're that kind of company. But those are just my thoughts on all this. If you have your own thoughts, go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, I appreciate you watching all of it. We'll talk to you again later.